Hello and welcome to Firearm Freedom. This is going to be another first impressions video. In today's first impressions video, we are taking a look at my Somogear PEQ-15. There are no sponsors to the channel currently, so if you want to help me out, you can hit that subscribe button and comment down below. Let me know what you think of this video and all the others. That really does help me out. Also, I have a B channel, FF Lifestyle. You've heard me mention it enough. I'm not going to say anything else. Just kidding. I'm going to sell it hard, used car salesman style. You just gotta do it. Everyone's doing it. You should do it too. Peer pressure it. Just try it. You never know, okay? I really would appreciate it. Hit the card up in the corner of your screen now and help get me to 1,000 subs. We are back on the Chinesium in today's video with the Somogear PEQ. So many people have been kind of showcasing these lately. I had so many buddies pick these up, and I was seeing them all over the place. I'm like, you know what? I don't know, man. Maybe I will give it a shot. And I was doing this piece together that you guys have seen a lot now recently on the channel, and I just wanted to get a laser aiming module for it. I wanted to do a little bit more in the night vision world if I could freaking find somewhere to reliably shoot at night. This is not designed to be run on an actual rifle. Like, it's not one of those things where like, oh, yeah, for Airsoft, right? But it's really not like one of the purse coming from Ivan the Bear. Those are kind of marked, we get it, like, oh, for Airsoft, but it's essentially 100% a full power purse, and that's how it always was. In this case, Somogear doesn't design these things for rifles. This is designed for Airsoft. It just so happened that a lot of folks started trying them on rifles, and they worked, and it was absolutely very, very close to standard full power when it comes to output of the laser. It's definitely not your standard civilian class laser, to say the least, as I will be trying to showcase in some fun photos and B-roll through my Psionics Aurora. This is actually a pretty handy little device to film anything through essentially the eyes of digital night vision. Somogear did not send me this PEQ-15. I paid all of the retail of like $280. That was roughly what it was on their website, and this is the UHP variation of the PEQ-15. I really wasn't sure what the difference was between the bunch, and I have never had a real PEQ-15 at any point, so I really was going into this almost completely blind. Now, it took over a month to finally get this thing. It was like sitting in customs, and then when it finally came in the mail, it had like a weird someone else's address as the ship from location, so I got super nervous that it was a return, because I've heard that if you get that, Somogear does a lot of returns in that way. If somebody's not happy with it, but it's still supposedly fine, they will send the customer a shipment label to the next customer, and I got, again, very nervous about that. It seems to work fine, so I don't know if that was the case, and I watched it sit through customs for weeks and weeks and weeks, so I really thought that it was just simply never going to arrive. Because I'm not able to shoot at night right now, the visible laser was all I could immediately test at the range. So I did zero the laser, or I should say roughly zeroed the laser, and the first thing I noticed was that with the adjustment knobs, when I was adjusting them, it was touchy to say the least. So the laser was doing that whole like kind of down, jump back up, jump down, jump over, jump back up. And I think I got it relatively zeroed, and I just went to town. I started absolutely ripping this thing up. I had the Delta Team FRT with this upper and this laser. It was a 90+ degree range day, and this thing was cooking, dude. Now, I got the potted variation of this laser, so it should have been okay, but all of a sudden, it started just like basically dying on me. And what started to happen is I would hold down the pressure pad, and as soon as I would take a shot, boom, the laser would go off. And then I figured I would try it out differently. I double clicked the pad on the top, which should bring it into a constant on mode. And I'm going to try to showcase that here on the bench. So if I double click it, as you can see there, it just stays on. It's constant on. And what would happen is I would jolt the gun with a shot and the laser would go off. And I would just click it on again and the laser would turn back on. Now, I don't know. I haven't been able to replicate that since that range day. And all of a sudden, later in the range day, it stopped doing that, even though the gun was twice as hot as the start of the range day. So I really have no idea what that was or why that was doing that. And I'm like, this thing is going to be cooked by the end of this range day, but it was actually good. And then finally, to follow up the end of the range day, I just kind of referenced 0 after all the shooting, and it held 0 through that. So I don't really know. Now, as far as the features, you have relatively all of the standard features of a PEQ-15. You have the aiming or visible laser in low mode. Of course, this 0 is off, as you can see here. And then you also have the aiming visible high. This laser is unbelievably powerful in the high mode. You have the programmable switch, IR laser in low mode, dual laser and illuminator in low mode. You have the laser in high mode, illuminator in high mode, and then you also have the dual laser and illuminator in the high mode. I'm gonna be honest with you, I had no idea, like I could not see, because the illuminator was so bright, I couldn't even see the laser in there. I could not see it through my tube. It was just like a ginormous laser. It was unbelievably bright. So I don't know if that's usually the case with like a full power PEQ, but it was almost worthless to have them both on there. It was unbelievably bright through my night vision device. Now, I'm going to try to showcase on camera at a longer distance outdoors at night to just see if I can see a difference, but it was far too bright with the illuminator on there. Now, you do have kind of your typical filter here on the outside that you would have on a normal PEQ, so I'll try to just kind of mess with those a little bit as well. But this was actually pretty good. You do have a lot of your standard adjustments and pieces that you would normally have on a PEQ. Now, as far as presentation of the body, it feels good. It doesn't feel as cheap as I thought it would feel. It actually does come with a small little box here and this like case. So presentation was cool. For 280 something bucks, I was like, all right, at least you get like a little bit of goodies with it. And it also came with a relatively nice switch as well. And that switch, I don't really have any complaints about. It seems to be working exactly as advertised. So my concern when it got hot and started to just randomly turn off was that it was not potted. And from what I can tell, it seems like you got about a 50-50. You're either going to get one of these and it's going to hold 0 long term and it actually is potted, a little bit of an indicator there, or you're going to get one that says it's potted, but it's actually not potted, and essentially it loses 0 for that exact reason. And that's kind of like my assumption. I don't know if that's right or wrong, but in this case, it is holding 0. I'm assuming it's potted, but only time will tell. I'm being a little bit more gentle on this thing because, again, it's not designed for guns. So I don't want to like hammer it down in the review because it won't work on a 5.56. I went into this essentially viewing it as a toy. It's designed for airsoft. If it works on a gun, cool, like an extra plus, but like I'm not, it was 280 bucks. Like if you're comparing it to a $1,500 plus laser aiming device, I mean, it's not going to be that. But if you wanted to get into the night vision world, you just saved up enough for your tube and you don't have enough for even a hollow sun laser, could this get you going? I would say yes, absolutely. And it's at least worth a roll of the dice to see if it actually works. It's been a cool little laser and it looks the part of a standard PEQ. I'm actually relatively impressed with this thing. I don't know that it's going to hold up. I would absolutely not do a drop test on it. I think it would just shatter into a million pieces. I felt a lot of vintage PEQs and my CNVDT thermal that I used to have, and I got to be honest, those bodies with this old school style plastic all felt the same. They all feel like cheap garbage. I'm going to be completely honest with you. They feel like total shit. So this is not even that far off. I think if you're looking for the look of a PEQ-15, this has got everything nailed down pretty freaking good. I do wish, again, those turrets were a little bit better, a little bit more tactile, but as far as the switch, it's actually pretty good. Now, a side note, you do have to remove your screws to get to the high power settings, and I didn't even realize you got a little stowing tray for those screws, so I'm gonna have to put those screws back in there. Take that for what you will. That's gonna wrap up this first impressions video on this PEQ-15. Please let me know if you guys have any other questions, comments, or concerns about this thing, and I'll try my hardest to get back to you. While you're down there, head up to the description for the ways to support the channel, and as always, stay tuned for more great content coming soon.